This has happened to me like about 2 to 3 times. We recently moved into this new house. The house is actually my husband's grandpa's house. His grandpa built the house when he was younger. After, there was a couple who were renting the house. We renovated some things, but the house has always been in the family. Anyway, it started when I was sleeping in the second huge living room it has. I instantly woke up when I heard someone say, "Oh, I can't tell if it was a man or a woman." Fast forward to another time. I go to sleep in that same living room, but then wake up and decide to continue sleeping in the smaller living room. I wake up to my husband opening the door and footsteps approaching. The whole time I am staring at the kitchen waiting for him to walk up. He never does. Then the third time, I am playing on the floor with my baby and our toddler. My toddler brings a toy over for me to fix, and as I'm fixing it, we hear the door open and footsteps. My toddler immediately gets up and says, "Daddy?" But no one was there. This confirms it for me that what I'm hearing isn't just in my head, because my toddler also got up thinking he heard the same thing. The house can't possibly be haunted because it's a family home. We know the entire history of it. It was built in 1963 for reference, so it is an older house. Any ideas on what this could be? For context, my mom's mom died before I was born, and when this happened I had never seen a picture or met my mom's mom for that matter. This is the story. I was in bed when I see my mom's mom and started crying, because in my 3-year-old brain seeing a human in my second story window, knowing that wasn't possible without making so much noise to wake everyone, but I was the only THA took up, and that day didn't talk to my mom because her mom and my mom look very similar. So in my 3-year-old brain I thought my mom was creeping in through my window, but that wasn't the case. When I finally warmed up to babbling in my 3-year-old vocab, my mom brings out a pic of her mom and a few other people I had never met, and without hesitation I pointed to my mom's mom and said I saw her, or something along the lines of that. I have another story involving my mom's dad, whom I did meet before he passed away. So I was in grade 4 when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I feel like I'm being watched from a corner. I knew no one was in. Well, I was wrong. My mom's dad was in the corner saying, "Tell your mom I love her and I'm okay. And no to worry," and just as fast as he appeared he was gone. For context, weird things started happening on our house, things like very human knocking on our ceiling. And very recently my brother was in our basement and he heard a very clear little girl's voice whisper his name in his ear. He was super freaked out obviously and came up to me. Things only happen when I'm with him. I've never had an experience alone, though I saw things when I was younger. I'm trying to figure out whether the house itself is haunted, something's attached to my little brother, or maybe because he's younger he can sense things easier so they stick to him more. Plus I'm not really sure what to do because he's really frightened now of the house. It all started when I was 6 years old. I was asleep in my older brother's room, on the floor. I woke up, sat up, and rubbed my eyes. Then I saw this thing. It was staring at me, standing directly in the doorway. It had white hair with a bald top/crown on its head. It wore overalls, and had deep sunken eyes. It had light gray skin, and long black claws as well. Almost as soon as I saw it, it bolted toward me, grabbed my ankles, and started dragging me out of the room and into the dark hall. I screamed, but nobody heard me. Then it said something that has also stuck with me since then. "You'll see me again." Ever since then, at least once a week, for 23 years, the exact same thing happens. Same entity, same everything. If this is just some decades-long recurring dream, why does everything seem so real? Why does its grip feel so real? Why does it always say the exact same thing? Why am I able to smell it every time? Why does everything else in the room look the exact same as it would if I were really awake? Even now, I'm almost afraid to type this, because I'm worried that I'm just dreaming again, and that it's going to appear in the doorway at any second. Please help me. I don't know what this thing is. I don't know why it won't leave me alone. I don't know how this dream seems so much more vivid than any other dream. I don't even know if it's real, or all in my head. Please help me. How do I put an end to this? What is it? Anything helps. I can't deal with this anymore. I can't deal with the overwhelming dread and fear. I can't deal with not knowing. I just genuinely can't keep going through this anymore. It makes me afraid to go to sleep. So I'm trying to look for someone with a similar experience or someone that has any information about this. I was driving my brother to school at 2:30 a.m. for a trip. I passed by this area with shops and dropped him off, and as I am driving back home alone I passed by the shops again, and there was a extremely tall figure in a long red cloak standing on the sidewalk. I couldn't see its face or anything. It looked like it was looking at the ground and didn't move at all. As I passed by the car and looked at the figure in my rear view mirror, I started to become filled with a weird gut feeling of what I saw and started to cry and had a panic attack on the way home. I'm not sure what I saw was a person. Was it a spirit? I'm trying to make sense of it because now it is stuck in my brain very vividly.
Mosey on down to the Atomic Shaman trading post. We have t-shirts, decals, refrigerator magnets and other swag for sale. What better way to show your support for the show? Our merch can only be found on t.pub/lit/Atomic Shaman trading post.
Like, share, subscribe and be sure to check the notification bell. Follow the Atomic Shaman on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Listen to Paranormal Green Text Stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube. Catch the live streams of Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge only on Rumble.